All right, clap sync. Oh, clap sync. Okay. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Flaffix Fleet TCG. I'm your host, Flaffic, as always, and today we're coming at you with sort of a more casual setup here with my guy, Kuma. Just chilling on the new year. I guess it's not New Year's technically anymore, but we're in the new year now. I wanted to just come at you guys with sort of a casual video to talk about where we're at with the channel going into the new year, what I got planned coming up, just sort of a channel update. And we just crossed about 100 subscribers a little bit of a while ago. I think we're at about 109 right now, but just also sort of wrapping this into a 100 subscriber special channel update type dealio. So that's enough rambling from me. Let's get into first more of a sort of a get to know me type of deals. If you haven't been here for very long, this is the Flaffix Fleet TCG channel. I've been playing the game for about 2 years now, it feels like. I don't know if it's quite 2 years at this point. I've been playing since OP07, so do the math there, I don't know. But I love the One Piece card game. I've been playing a lot of different decks over the course of my, play period or whatever. Play a lot of different colors. Don't really gravitate towards any one specific thing. I'm not really one of those like specialist type guys who's like, oh, I only play green or I only like blue or what have you, But I guess I would say I generally tend to gravitate towards a lot of decks that play like creature tempo strategies. I guess creature's not the proper terminology. Character strategies, like things like Doflamingo, Calgara, board swarm type of decks I generally tend to enjoy. But I also, my favorite deck I've ever played is RP Luffy. So I'm kind of all over the board when it comes to what I enjoy playing in One Piece. And mostly I say I just enjoy playing One Piece because that's what it's all about, baby. So that's sort of my background with the game itself. I got into making content a little bit right as I got into the game, just sort of like touching my toes in the water, but I never really like stuck with it, I would say, and it took me a while to get to a point where I was wanting to make content on a consistent level, and I guess my whole reason for getting into it was sort of I don't know, I saw a lot of people in the community who I really enjoyed watching. And I really wanted to get into that too, just because, a lot of these guys who are making content are just, guys who enjoy the game. It's not like, there doesn't seem to be this sort of upper echelon of content creation, that's like a sort of like a daunting barrier to get into. Like, you look at other card games, specifically like Magic especially, when you've got things like game nights, it's like, wow, what can I do with my budget, right? What can I introduce to the table? So it gets to be like one of those things where it's also like a passion thing, right? For me, where I enjoy other card games. I've played other card games for a long time, but I don't really enjoy anything quite as much as I enjoy One Piece. One Piece is a particular passion of mine that just has a much larger flame for me than any other card game on the market right now. And so I can't help but also want to make content to scratch that One Piece bug, right? Because I don't know. One Piece is that sort of gift that keeps on giving in my life. I hate to be a glazer. I mean, I love to be a glazer. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But I don't know. I got into One Piece right as the 1,000 chapter threshold kind of crossed, and or maybe it was the 1,000 episode cross threshold, whatever. I don't know. But once that happened, I was at a point where it's like, man, I am a huge enjoyer of the big three. I grew up with these shonen anime. I've seen Bleach. I read Bleach to its conclusion in high school. I love the 1,000-Year Blood War stuff that they've got going on now. Naruto, don't get me started. That was like, my big, huge entry to like getting into anime, and same story you've heard from a million other little quirked up white boys on the internet. But I'd never given One Piece the chance because it's so long and blah, 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 and all that other shit, right? But I don't know. I remember I got a volume of the manga from the library as a kid, and it was like the second or first volume or something like that. And I was like, this guy's a fucking clown. This is goofy. This is dumb shit. I don't want to read this. I'm going to go fucking watch Orochimaru kill a guy, right? I was like, well, this is way more cool and edgy and blah, blah, blah. I'm 8 and I need violence in my life because I'm an American child. But I don't know, One Piece, once it crossed that threshold of 1,000 episodes, I was like, man, I got to give it a chance, right? Like we're as a cultural milestone, like I've seen Dragon Ball, I've seen all of these other famous like shonen manga. Like I can't be a shonen glazer and not get One Piece, right? And so I watched it, and I just fucking fell in love, bro. As many other people have. I'm not gonna sit here and like give my One Piece testimonial anymore here, but all that to say, One Piece a lot more important to me than, you know, Magic, Pokemon, and that drove me to like also make the content, just because I wanted to talk about One Piece. And like, I don't feel like I'm super well versed in like the manga realm and all that kind of stuff, and that's there's enough guys on the internet talking about chapters week to week that I don't really want to do that either. So I was like, all right, yeah, card games. I like card games. I like making content. And so let's do it, right? As far as the whole I like making content thing goes, my background in content creation comes from, I'm a film student. Well, I'm no longer a film student. I'm a film graduate. Was a film student. And I really, ever since I graduated, I really not done a lot with my degree. As many, there are many such cases with film students. But I don't know, I worked in TV for a little bit. I was a producer for my local news station for a while, and I've been applying to some jobs in that realm, still currently, but right now I work at a dispensary. I sell weed, and that's fun, right? I enjoy it. It's been super enjoyable. It's gotten me, you know, my bills paid and that sort of thing, and it's, you know, helping me get my student loan bills paid down, but I still had that itch for wanting to make films and like do stuff and be active, because I don't know, the last job I had with my degree or in my industry or career path or whatever you want to call it, I was making videos and stuff for a minor league baseball team, right? And that was like not the most enjoyable thing in the world, but it was $700 a week, and you know, like, money's tight, right? And like, I'm not into YouTube to like make money, but like another reason, like, you know, wanting to make content on YouTube was like, hey, you know, like, if I get to a point where we're monetized a little bit and I can make, you know, 13 bucks, whatever, a month extra, like, hey, that's buying snacks. You know what I mean? That's food for my dog once a week. You know what I mean? Like, every little bit helps, right? And so, hey, if I can like do that while I'm, you know, applying for jobs elsewhere and trying to, you know, move home or what have you, like, that's something, you know, there for me, right? So that's kind of why I got into making content. Passion for One Piece, passion for card games, possibility for using my degree and feeling satisfied in that way. I don't know. Oh, lots of waxing and waning on that we could do. But moving on from that, I guess I wanted to talk about my dog here. Yeah, he just popped up. Come here, Kuma Bear. So this is Kuma. He is a Chihuahua Wiener dog mix. He's a very handsome fella. Yeah, I named him after Kuma from One Piece. I've had him for about 2 years. He's a really good fella. You see him in all my videos because he's sort of the mascot here, besides Flaffy, who is the other, you know, sort of inspiration for my channel name. A lot of people ask, like, you know, like, what the fuck does Flaffic mean? Like, and you know, it's people are like, oh, are you copying Flacco? And I'm like, no, I don't, not that guy, never him. You know, people ask me like, hey, like, what does Flaffic mean? And really, all it comes down to is I like the Pokemon Flaffy, and it was like Flaffy but graphic, right? It's a graphic Flaffy. It's kind of mid, but like, I don't know, I've stuck with it and I've ran with it, and that's like been my gamer tag of mine for a while. So like, I don't know, that's sort of the explanation on that. But yeah, that's the channel name. That's my guy Kuma. That's me, really, from Mississippi. I live in Illinois now. I've lived in Illinois for about 10 years or so. A little over 10 years, actually. Wow. Actually, no, it's about 15 years. I've moved here in 2013. So do the math there. I don't know. But yeah, that's us. That's the channel introduction. Let's get into what we've got planned for the year. We're going to keep up with what we've been doing. I want to move more into more talk style videos like this. Maybe some more like discussion style videos on like what the game can do and where it can go and that sort of thing. You know, I've had some videos on pop up, boom, boom, you know, like some of the stuff that I've done in the past, and that was sort of what I'm talking about, style videos. But aside from doing stuff like that, I want to introduce some of my like ideas for some custom formats. I've got some things I play with my friends that, you know, I don't really see a lot of other people talking about, and I think it's fun. I think having alternate ways to play One Piece is super cool. So want to like come up with some ideas and like pitch those to the community and see if anybody else is like into what I got cooked up, you know. And then I want to kind of get into more some of my Leader Lab ideas, which is my series where I'm cooking up like custom leaders that haven't been printed yet for characters that, you know, we haven't seen be leaders or what have you. I was working on a Brook video for that for a while, but we're so close to getting a Brook reveal that I think I'm going to hold off on that one. And I'm going to cook up my other idea and work on that one for our next video. I'm thinking we're probably going to be doing a little less off-meta Mondays. I kind of want to do off-meta Monday every other Monday from now on. Notice we didn't have one this week, right? Because I've been, you know, kind of lukewarm on the content, honestly, here lately. I've been working on some other stuff. We're getting back into it in the new year. That's why we're making this video. So, yeah, I'm going to be trying to do a little less off-meta Monday. Not because, you know, I don't love it or, you know, whatever, but just, I don't know, I feel like we're getting a little inundated on the channel with that, and I kind of want to get into a more talky, you know, get out of my comfort zone type of things to sort of push us, right? Because right now we're sitting at about 110 subscribers, and I think my goal for the new year is to get to 500, right? If by the end of 2026 we can have 500 subscribers, I will be happy, right? Nothing crazy, so I think we can do it. I think we can make it happen. Yeah, just trying to make up more creative ideas for content, stuff that we don't really see in the community. I would love to do things like market watches and stuff like that, but I don't know, you guys got it, right? Like everybody seems to kind of have stuff like that unlock. Pre-release guides, people kind of have that unlocked. I'm not good enough at this game to sit here and pitch you some like super duper meta, like this is how you should play fucking blah blah blah, you know? Like that's not me. That's not. I've never like pretended to be that guy, I don't think, so I don't want to like make that type of content. I don't know, like just fun stuff, right? I want to have fun. I'm gonna try to go to some more events this year. I really wanted to go to Peoria, this last Peoria regional a couple of weekends ago, but I wasn't able to make it because work obligations and money and stuff like that. So, and my cars, I need to get new brakes. So yeah, I just didn't want to make the drive. It's about 3-4 hours for me to get there, so I was like, you know, we'll skip Peoria this time. I was mostly just gonna go for making content, but I think we're gonna try to do some more stuff like that this year. I want to go to more events, more locals. I made a little document of all the locals in my area that I could go to on my like random days off and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start trying to go some more of those this year, making content with those. Just getting out and meeting people. When I get out and meet people in the community, meet some of you guys, I don't know, I feel very parasocial when it comes to the One Piece community, because where I'm at in my area, we're very small. There's like maybe, I could count the amount of people that play One Piece in my area on 2 hands. And so we really have to drive about an hour and some change anywhere one direction or another to go actually play One Piece. Mostly the time I go and play my locals there in Missouri, right? I'm here in Southern Illinois. So I drive about an hour and 10 minutes to go to locals when I want to go to locals. So it's just kind of, you know, otherwise I just go to my LGS that my roommate here in town owns. And I play with my homies, right? And that's usually just friendlies and small games and stuff like that here and there. And for the most part, we play on the sim, right? So it's very small, and I kind of want to get out more a little bit and see more folks, because I go to regionals and I see folks that like I talk to on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, like I know that guy to an extreme parasocial degree, and I'm not, you know, gonna go up and talk to him and be like, hey man, you're XYZ4269 on Twitter. That's cool, man. I liked your conversation about our red green chopper. I know, it's stuff shit like that, right? Like I'm not that. I want to be more out there with you guys and meet people and just kind of like get more engrossed in the community, because I don't know, One Piece is really exciting this year. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. I know a lot of people are bummed out with the whole sneaker bro, Pokemon, investor, strong, blah 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 bullshit. I am too. If you came to this channel thinking that we're gonna be like, oh, like everybody has a place in the community, everybody does have a place in the community, and that's fair. But like the people who are like, hey, like let's pump and dump this random card, you know, fuck these guys, let's get our money, like we don't have a place for you guys. Like this channel doesn't have a place for you guys. So like those guys, you can have your thing, but like I don't agree with that. Fuck that, you know. So that's my piece on that, and that's all we're gonna ever really get into when it comes to those guys here on this channel. Just because I don't know, there's tons of other people talking about it and getting mad about it, and like, you know, you don't need another quirked up white boy yelling at clouds when it comes to investor stonk bro. So that's all we're gonna say about that. So just want to get out there, meet some more people, get more engrossed in the community, and like just make more content. So that's my goal for the new year. Me and Kuma are super excited. We might be moving sometime this year. I'm not really sure. Ideally, sometime before the year ends, we're trying to move back down south where I'm originally from. But in the meantime, we're just chilling. We're selling weed. We're making content. We're having fun. And yeah, so all that to say, thank you for watching. If you sat here long enough and listened to me ramble, I tried. I'm sure I'm gonna cut this up as best I can, but I've rambled a lot. If you enjoyed it, I appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, do all the stuff, and we'll catch you next time on Flyfix Fleet TCG. Bam.